Wishing you a blessed, happy, and prosperous new year from the entire Clean It Up team and I. As we step into this year, many of us are thinking about resolutions related to goals for health, wellness, education, family, spirituality, and personal growth. And while these aspirations are important, we'd also like to reflect on a goal that merges personal improvement with community impact by caring for the environment we live in. In our previous articles, we have highlighted the value of simple living, environmental cleanliness, and decluttering our spaces. These practices don't just make our homes cleaner, they improve our lives and the lives of those around us. This year, we intend to deepen that conversation and translate good intentions into real action. Recently, I took an evening walk and chose a shortcut I rarely use. Almost immediately, I was hit by a foul stench, and as I continued, I was met with a large heap of garbage that included used diapers, sanitary waste, and food remains dumped right on a public pathway. My first instinct was to turn back to where I was coming from and connect back to the main road, but my mind stayed on even after I had passed the path. I found myself asking why people in the vicinity would opt to turn a path they used on a daily basis into a dumping site. In many African communities, and in this case fairly rural setups, we do not always have fully functioning municipal cleaning services. Some cities have waste collection services from homes once a week, but this alone is not enough. And yet, so often, people assume that if waste isn't at their doorsteps, then it's not their problem. Sadly, this mindset only worsens the situation because everyone contributes to the garbage pileup, whether consciously or not, and any dire consequences like outbreaks would eventually get to affect us all. The issue goes beyond aesthetics. As it is well known, improper disposal of waste leads to blocked drainage systems, if any, flooding during the rainy season, pollution of water sources, and increased health risks from waterborne and respiratory diseases. In cities across Africa, including major centers like Nairobi, vast amounts of waste goes uncollected, leaving people with few options but to dump their trash to open spaces and waterways like rivers. This reality points to a deeper communal challenge. Let us be honest, the entire situation points to the lack of shared sense of responsibility and ownership over our environment. It is obvious that inadequate infrastructure and limited government resources do play a role, but equally important is the attitude and mindset of individuals and communities. Change begins with acknowledging that the environment we share affects all of us, whether positively or negatively, and especially for young and vulnerable members of society. So now that we are aware, how do we move to change that trajectory? For starters, we would obviously have to embrace individual and collective responsibility and shift our mindsets from statements and beliefs like, as long as it's not on my doorstep, it's not my problem, to, if this environment affects us all, then we must all work toward protecting it. Secondly, it would be paramount to set up a committee that would oversee the organization and participation of community cleanups. This exercise would not only work on cleaning the environment, but also in building stronger communal ties. After taking charge of the situation as a community, strategic requests and push for improved waste collection, recycling facilities, and public education in communities would easily be a subject or proposal that would be given attention by the municipality. Whether through local leaders, schools, or community groups, collective voices can influence decision makers. What follows would be working on educating and inspiring behavioral change through school programs, social media, community forums, and conversations with friends and family, with an emphasis on building a culture that values environmental cleanliness and progress. Finally, within the same communal spirit, community members could explore local solutions and innovations like recycling initiatives aimed at turning organic waste into compost and alternative energy. All this while creating job opportunities in the same breath. At the heart of every change is a choice. The choice to act, to care, and to hold ourselves accountable. Real transformation begins not with proclamations, but with daily intentional acts to protect our health, dignity, and environment. Let this year be one where we don't just set goals, but where we also fulfill them through responsibility, community action, and unwavering commitment to a cleaner, healthier future for all. Cheers to a cleaner, blessed, intentional, and fulfilling 2026.